If you'd like to begin collecting Panini NFT cards and are not sure where to begin, then this is the video for you. In this video, I'm going to show you how to both buy and sell the NFT cards. I'm going to show you the different utility you can use for them, how to manage your wallet, as well as how to be a part of the community and different channels you can follow to stay up to date when new releases happen. So if that interests you, you can watch, and let's get into that right now. Now, Panini has a mobile app that you can use as well, but all of my instructions are going to come from their website, paniniamerica.net. From their website, you can click on blockchain and you will see these different blockchain categories. So the very first thing is that pack drops just come at different times. They usually go through different sports. So, 1 week will be the UFC, then it'll be the NBA, and so and sometimes they do the same sport for several weeks in a row. So anyways, when you come to the blockchain website, if there are any packs available for sale, you'll see them right here underneath these main categories. Once again, you're going to want to follow their blog, and I'll show you different ways to keep track of when releases are coming. But if they have a pack drop, this is where it will be, and this is the first way that you can acquire cards. And so if you like the price point and you want to get in on these packs, you can click on it and click buy to get some of those. Now, the other thing that they have are challenges. Challenges are where you collect a certain amount of specific cards and you hold it until the timer runs out, and then if you have done that, you will get to mint whatever the challenge card is, and the challenge card is minted to the number who complete it. Now, those challenges you will see directly underneath the packs. Let me just show you the screen so you can see an example of one of them. So this was the Conor Mcgregor Color Blast Challenge, and so this was the card you were seeking to earn. These are the cards that you had to collect and add to your collection to hold until the timer ran out. And then when you did so, you would get an email notification as well as a link to this page here where you could click on claim, and then you would get the card and it would be added to your wallet. Now, if there are no pack drops or no pack drops that interest you, maybe you only want to collect one specific sport, the only other way to collect cards is through the secondary market. Now, the secondary market is split up into two different areas. They do have in the future, they're going to be combining them, but right now they are separate. And that is the public auctions and the public gallery. So the public auction is an auction. They will have a minimum price, you can bid on it, and it goes to the highest bidder at the end of the time. All auctions run for 24 hours. The public gallery, on the other hand, does not have an ending time. The public gallery is used for two different things. First, you can just show your cards, display them, and accept offers. And so you don't actually put a price. It's just if somebody likes your card, they may send you an offer, and you can have up to 24 hours to approve it, or if you don't do anything or you reject it, nothing happens. The other thing you can do is you can add it as a buy it now price in the public gallery. And so you may list a card and you may say, hey, I want $5 for this card. Somebody can click buy it now, or if they're only willing to pay $4, they can send you an offer for $4 and you can accept or reject it. But the main difference between the two that you need to focus on is one is 24 hours only. The other, if you list a card, it will stay up permanently. So those are the kind of the key differences. So let's start with the public auctions. I do think that the public auctions are used more than the public gallery. So at the top here, you're going to see the different sports that they have. Now, some of these are probably going to be used more in the future. The ones that are not popular right now are the NFL draft, soccer, hockey. I don't think hockey even has any cards, and those final two. So the ones that are used the most, because they have pack releases, challenges, etc., are basketball, the UFC, and baseball. Football also is probably next on the list. They don't have any packs yet, but they still have quite a few high-value cards that are actively traded. Football is also probably going to be the next sport, or we're going to be getting those packs before the end of the year. Now, the only other thing to note about these different sports is that basketball, football, and the UFC are fully licensed by both the league and the Players Association. The UFC doesn't have a Players Association. Whereas baseball is only licensed by the Players Association and not the MLB. And so the difference is that the the baseball cards do not have the MLB logo as well as the team name and team logo. Instead, it's a card of the player. So the very first thing you need to do is determine what sport or sports that you want to collect, and then you would choose it from the top. So I'm going to make my first example using the UFC. I'll use different sports as my example. So if you come here, you're going to see the UFC, and then this is the sorting tab here. You can sort by trending, ending soon. So I'll just click here and they'll show you the cards that are going to be ending. You can see the timer running out here. This is going to end in 13 minutes, 14 minutes. And this is the current bid, and this is the buy it now price. Now, if you don't see a little number here in the corner, that is showing you that there is nobody that has bids on that. You can see right here, this one has 1 bid, this one has 9 bids, but when you see nothing here, that means there is no bid. So if the timer runs out and there are no bids, then nobody will win that, and that auction will end. And that's also important for when you're bidding on it. Just because something is at a particular price, if there are actually no bids, it doesn't mean that anybody's actually willing to pay it. Whereas if you do have bids, you know that people are willing to pay the current bid price and possibly more. I think it's also important to know that auctions don't reset the timer near the end if there is a final bid. So sniping is a real thing here on Panini, and so you might want to place, be watching a bid as it's ending and place a bid in the last few seconds. Or you might want to just, pay a little bit more than you normally would to ensure that you get it if it's a card you really want, you don't want to lose it. On the left-hand side, you're going to see the filters. And so let me just show you, if I was going to search for a couple particular cards, what I would do. So the very first thing I could do is I could go under the card sets. So one of the insert card sets we might want to collect are the Color Blast. And so I could actually select it from here or just start typing. And we have Color Blast and then the Color Blast Challenge, which will be just Conor McGregor. So I'll click under Color Blast, and then it will show me all the Color Blast cards. Now, these are limited. As you can see, this is the number here out of 250. This is serial number 45, and there's 250 of these cards. And so I might say, you know what, I'm only interested in collecting cards that have a serial number of 99 or less, a 2-digit serial. So I could click under the serial number and say the max number of 99, and then that would only show me these. Now you might say, okay, well, that's still a lot of cards. I'm actually only interested if they're at a particular price point. And so I might come here and say the price, well, I would like the current bid to be under $14, because that's all I want to pay. And I would click here, and then I would see I have significantly reduced them. And so I only have these, 10 cards. So these are the ones I can choose from. As you can see, the current bid 11, 13, 10, 12, and these are all serial numbers that have a 2-digit serial. So this is one way that you can find the different cards. Now, if you want to do a new search here, you can click on Clear All. Now, just to show you how I would find a specific player, let's just use basketball as an example. And I would just go under athlete, and let's just say, hey, I want to find a LeBron James. So I'd start typing in LeBron's name. I would find it here. And then I could be more specific if I want, hey, I want a really rare LeBron. I could click rare to see all the rare cards, but I'm actually thinking about, I gotta remove the price there. I would want a serial number that is number 10 or less, so a really rare. And there's only one, this is a number 3. And so this is the way that you can kind of find a specific card, a specific serial. Of course, if you just wanted a particular serial, you could say, hey, like we know there's a number 3, you could say, I want min of 3 and a max of 3, and then you would only see the number 3 serial. So that's also helpful if you want to find a jersey number or, a first mint or a last mint or something specific like that. Now let's head over to the public gallery. Let me show you how you can acquire cards there as well. Now for this one, I will use baseball, and let's go find ourselves a Mike Trout card that's under 50 bucks. So let's go under baseball, and then we can go under athlete, and we'll type in Mike Trout. Now, as you can see here, these are the Mike Trout cards that are in the gallery. You know, if you want to be social, you can click on like give it a thumbs up, and that will kind of stay with the card. But these are cards, like for example, right here, it's the buy it now is not set and the minimum offer is not set. So this is somebody who's just displaying their card. Whereas other people, they will actually put in buy it now prices. Now, if you just want to say, okay, I'm not just looking for cards, I want to actually buy something, you can go under the visibility setting, click cards with buy now, and you will only get the cards with the buy now. Of course, now I can go and say, well, let me show me the lowest to the highest. And then we could see, okay, here we go. We got a Mike Trout for $45. So there's only one that's under $50. But I might say, you know what? Well, I don't want this one right here. I'm actually looking for this color blast, and I want to pay a less. I'm not interested in $195. Well, if that was the case, I could click on it, and then I can put in my offer here, and I could say, okay, well, I want to pay only $150 for this particular card. And so if I did that, I can put in $150 and click make offer, and it will send it to the person who owns the card, and they can click either accept. They can also just kind of wait and see if somebody, you know, because that will start a timer that ticks down to give 24 hours, and that's giving the person 24 hours to respond. If the timer ends, nothing happens, the card, you know, is not sold, it just expires. They can click reject to make the timer end quicker, or if they want, they can just leave the timer running to see if anybody's willing to kind of bid a little bit more. So if I put in a $150 bid, then that's going to start a timer. It'll show a visual, you know, difference there on the page. And then somebody might say, oh, I see it. Somebody placed a $150 offer on this card. I'm willing to pay $155. So if I go in then and that person, if that person goes in and puts in $155, then the timer resets to 1 full day, and then the person gets that offer as well. And if they're like, you know what, $155, that's good for me, they can click accept, you would get the card, and you'd be charged your PayPal account for $155. And so that's how the public gallery works. I do find it's helpful if you're going to be sending offers to people that you kind of look at the previous sales. Some people, they've pulled it out of packs, and so, you know, if they pull it out of the pack that, you know, for example, I know that the pack sold for $15, so the person would have only invested $15. Maybe they'd be willing to take possibly a little bit less, but of course you don't know if it's a savvy investor or not. But this particular person, we know that they invested $124 to buy this card. So if I send them, like, you know, a $50 offer, I'm sure they're going to reject it because, you know, they paid $125. Usually people who spend money on cards are only wanting to either get their money back if you know, they're on hard times or something like that, or they're looking to make at least a little bit of a profit. And so you can kind of take that into consideration. Of course, you can send whatever offer you want, but if you would like to not waste your time and to have it accepted, you might want to take into consideration what they've actually paid. The other thing you should know about sending offers is that once you've sent your offer, you cannot take it back. And so they will have up to 24 hours to accept or reject it. I've actually accepted bids, you know, I've waited almost until the timer ran out because I wasn't really sure, and I've just clicked accept just before the timer ran out. And so, you know, for example, if you only have like $200 to spend and you're only, you know, wanting to pick up one of these Mike Trout cards and you want to pay $150 for it, you know, you're going to have to send one offer at a time and wait for a rejection or wait for the timer to run out. Because if you went and you like bid $150 on 4 different cards, you might get those 4 accepted, and then you bought 4 of them when you only wanted to buy 1. And so you might want to, you know, take that into consideration. It's not that, you know, once you've somebody's accepted, you can go cancel the others. The others will still stay pending until the timer runs out. Now, just to show you an example of the buying process, I found a card here that I wouldn't mind having. This is a Kevin Holland rookie card. So you can see the current bid is $2 and the buy it now is $3. Now, if the buy it now was not set at $3, I could place a bid and then, somebody could outbid me. But because you have to spend at least $1 over the minimum, this is basically just a pure buy it now. If I press $3, I will win it. If I click buy it now, I win it immediately. So there's only one way to do it, and that's to win it immediately. Now, if the price was above $3, I could put in my bid right here, click place bid, and then it would just say okay, and then I would wait until the timer ends to see if I win or not. In this particular case, if I put in $3 under place bid or I click buy it now, the same thing happens and I just automatically win it. Now, I think it's important to do your research. So for example, I can see here that there's no previous sales. That means that this person pulled this card out of a pack. What I can do is I can click under view other listings to see the same listings of this particular card. Now, the NBA is not like this. The NBA only has one tier of all base cards, limited to $17.99, but the UFC and baseball has 3 different tiers, which have 3 different mint counts. And so these are all of Kevin Holland's base cards, and this particular one is a premier card, which is out of $599. You can see this right here, out of $599, that says premier level. So if I want to go and review other listings, this is an octagon size out of $199, and then this is a concourse out of $999. But I can look at just the $599 ones. See, I have another 2, 3, but the serial number is higher. I can click here to sort by serial number, and I can say, let's go the other way. So there is only a number 83 out of 199, which is the octagon side. That has a current bid of 4, but there's no other 2-digit premiers that are available. So then the other thing I can do is I can go under the view sales history. Now, the top sales you probably don't want to use if you're trying to find a fair price, because the prices might have been at a different level when they did the top sales. Also, the best serial numbers will be there near the top. You can see this is number one. You'll often have jersey numbers as well for other sports, single-digit serials. But what I like doing is going under the recent sales. The only reason I use the top sales is if it's a particular high-end serial number or there wasn't a recent sales history. And so I would go here and I'd say, okay, well, look at this. This is a $5.99, $5.99. So we have some sales at $5 and $2, but once again, these are higher serial numbers. I have a 2-digit serial number. And because we had a recent sale at $5 and mine is a better serial number, this is a pretty good deal. So this is kind of how you can tell, if it's a good deal or not. And so when I'm happy with the price, I can kind of close this out. I've done my research and I can just click buy it now, since you're going to be able to purchase this for $3. Do you want to cancel or buy? I click buy, and we get a little bit of a loading screen in the background. It's actually charging my PayPal. And so I'll also, get an email from PayPal saying that, it transferred $3 to the buyer. So in Panini, you don't have a balance. You just do PayPal to PayPal. And so this is it's connected to my PayPal account. It's sending the money directly to the person who has the card and then transferring the card into my wallet. So it said it successfully purchased the card, and now I can see my card under my cards. So that's the next step. Now let's go under my cards. But first I just want you to see, now under the amount, you can see that there was a sale to me, and it records the time and date. So go under blockchain, and you can go under my NFT collection, and you can click view all. Actually, you know what? There's one other thing I want to say first, and that's you should get familiar with the my bids as well, because this will show you cards that you're bidding on, and then you can see if you're outbid or if you are the current bidder. And so I can see right here, for example, this is in number 4, Curtis Blades. There's gonna be there's still 1 minute left in this auction, and the current bid is $4. If I click on it and I click under the 2 bids, we can see that I bid $3 and then somebody outbid me by $1. And so if I wanted, of course, I can go and bid a little bit extra, but this is one that I'm going to actually pass on. Now we see that the previous sale for this is $8 and the current bid is only at $4, so this person is getting a good deal. But we're just going to see now as the timer goes down to see if there's any bids in the last couple seconds, so you can see. I usually like refreshing it just before the 10-second mark to see if anything else came in, and then we'll see if anyone snipes. This is now 5, 4, 3, and there we go. So I'm just going to click on the bids here. And we see nobody sniped it and it just went for $4. So usually if you refresh it like just around 10 seconds left, you'll see maybe, especially for a card that's hot, you'll see some extra bids, and then you can click on the bids to see what it went for at the very end. Now let's go back to my NFT collection and view all NFTs. So these are sorted by the different card set that you have. So these are my UFC packs, these are my NBA, and these are my baseball. You can see the total number of cards here in the corner as well. And so if we go under the UFC, we're gonna see the card that I just bought here at the top. This is my Kevin Holland card. And there is currently not a lot of great filters. We only have the filter by year. Hopefully they add some new filters soon. But the other thing you can do is you can search by card here as well. And so if I just wanted to go and say, hey, show me my Conor Mcgregor cards, I can type in Conor's name and then look at them here. Now let's get into selling cards. Let's just say I wanted to sell a couple different cards here. Let's say I wanted to sell these 2 premier cards that I bought. So if I wanted to do that and put them in the public gallery, this is what I would do. I'd find the cards I want and then I'd click on this icon here. See, there's no icon saying it's not in the public gallery. So I click that and this will add it to the gallery. So well, not yet until I confirm it, but you see I selected 2 of them here. I could also click on select all cards and then I click confirm. Now once I do this, I would want to go under advanced settings and then I can click visible to the public, and yes, I'd like to receive offers, and then I can also put in a buy it now price. So that is how you do it. And then if I wanted to go and edit ones that I've already added, then I can go under my cards. And in the corner here, you see how many I have in the public gallery. I have 2 here for the NBA and 8 here for the UFC. So I would just click on this. I could remove visibility if I want to remove them, but I can go under edit advanced settings. Let's just say maybe nobody has bought it in a while, and then I can go and I can change the price. So for example, I can say, oh, you know what, nobody's buying this at $225, maybe I'll try $219. Maybe I'll edit a couple prices here and then click confirm, and then that will change it in the public gallery as well. Now if I want to add a card to the public auction instead, I could go ahead and click here on the card that I want. You have to do these individually, you can't mass add them. And then I can just go under start auction. Now the same research I did for buying the card, you would do for selling as well, to kind of see what the latest sales are, to see, you know, what I could possibly expect it for or what I should list it for. And then I can go under start auction. So if I wanted to sell it for a particular price, like I'm not interested in an actual auction, I just want people to pretty much buy it now, I set the minimum price and the buy it now price $1 apart. So let's just say I wanted $5 for this card. I would click $4 minimum, $5 buy it now price, and then I will get $5. You can also add a comment, and this comment will also display under the card if I just wanted to highlight, hey, he's won a certain, you know, belt, or maybe, you know, why this card is particularly rare. You can add that. Unfortunately, these don't save, and so after the 24 hours have expired, the price that you put in and the comment you added, you know, you'd have to re-enter it every 24 hours if you wanted to keep relisting it. And so what I have done in the past is I have created an Excel spreadsheet where I just save the prices and the comments, so I can go quickly transfer them back over if I want to relist them. But hopefully in the future they'll add the saving feature for easy relisting. Now if you're unsure what you want to sell, another thing you can do is go under the previous sales. So you can go under blockchain and NFT sales, and then, like, for example, let's just say you have UFC Color Blast cards, but you're not sure, you know, what the best sellers are, and you kind of want to make some good money. You can go under the recent sales, click filter by, select a sport, so I'd say, hey, UFC And then the card set is the Color Blast. And then I can just kind of look here. So this is not like looking at one specific one. This is kind of like if I just wanted to see, you know, what some of the hot sellers are. I can say, oh, okay, well, we got, you know, Dustin Poirier selling for like 16 bucks and Masvidal selling for like 20. And so this can be helpful in determining, you know, what might sell for the most. Also, obviously, if I wanted to see what the best sellers are, I could also go under top sales. And I can see here, oh, okay, well, John Jones is like the hottest card for the Color Blast set. And, you know, Khabib is also pretty good there. And this Justin Gaethje, well, it's not really quite fair because it's a #1 serial, and #1 serials obviously have higher value. So I can see, you know, Khabib is also, so Khabib and John Jones are the two biggest sellers. Now, just remember, Conor's not in here because Conor would be under the Color Blast Challenge, so he's under a separate category. And I can see, oh yeah, Conor's cards are selling very well here as well. If I wanted to see, you know, Conor's and the non-challenge cards as well, I just wouldn't use this filter, and you know, I would kind of use some of the other filters. Now just remember, if I listed this card in auction and somebody bought it, whether it's through a buy it now or if they just won the auction, that gets paid out directly to my PayPal. So there is no balance I hold in Panini. There's no Panini dollars get paid in US dollars through my PayPal account. Now, as an experienced user in the Panini marketplace, I just want to offer a couple tips and tricks. I find that there are more users that use the auctions rather than the public gallery, but I find that the public gallery is where you would probably get a higher price, whereas the auctions tend to be better for scooping up deals. And so if I wanted to find a card for cheap, I would probably tend to look at the auctions first. Whereas if I wanted to get the most amount of money from my card, I would likely consider the public gallery. It doesn't work all the time, but that's kind of a general rule. And as far as pack drops, the insert sets, you know, they usually sell for $15 and they have like one insert card and two base cards. Those tend to sell out in about a minute or just a couple minutes, whereas the parallels, sometimes those sit for longer periods of time. Sometimes it's just a full day, some of them have sat for weeks. And that typically is in relation to the price as well. And so with a lot of the parallels, they're hit or miss. A lot of them, the cards have sold for under the pack value on the secondary market. And so if you're a value investor, you typically want to grab your parallels on the secondary market after people bust open their packs and they didn't get those big hits. Of course, if you're a gambler, then you still want to go for those as well to see if you get some of the big hits that you're looking for. Whereas the insert cards, there's usually way more demand, and a lot of those people make money as long as you get packs. Now, typically for the packs, they allow you to buy up to 10 per transaction. Now with the inserts, you're usually not going to ever get more than 10 because by the time you have one transaction go through, you know, oftentimes they're sold out, but there have been people who've been able to get 20 packs of the inserts. I've never heard of anybody getting more, but I guess it's always possible. Whereas with the parallels, because those kind of sit for a little longer, you're usually able to buy as many as you want, but still only 10 per transaction. Now, when you're buying something in the public gallery or the auction, it is linked to your PayPal. That is the only option. But if you are buying with packs, you have the option to buy either with PayPal or with a credit card. And you can go to my profile and put in your credit card details beforehand so that it's all filled out in advance of a pack drop, which you definitely want to do before an insert pack drop, because, you know, by the time you fill out your address and your credit card information, it might already be sold out. So that's definitely a tip that you'll want to do that in advance. I don't see any difference between buying packs on the app or by buying them on the website. People have both successes and failures with both, but just know that currently, until they add the queue system, which they do have planned for the future, you're going to have to rapidly click buy it now, because you're going to get, you know, there's so many people trying to buy it at once. it can't process all the orders, and so you're gonna have to click fast. You click buy, you click OK, you buy OK, OK, buy OK, and until a transaction goes through and it says it added the packs to you. Don't worry, it's not going to be charging you for every time you click it. It's only going to show you when there's a successful transaction. But that's what you need to do during one of these hot insert pack drops. Now, the final thing I'd encourage you to do is to become part of the community. First off, the Panini NFTs have a Discord channel. Let me just pull that up right here. So this is the Panini blockchain NFTs, and I'm going to put a link to the Discord in the YouTube description so that you can join. So under the community, here's a general talk. Then they also have different channels set up for the various sports. So whatever sport is your favorite, you can go in there and kind of build with those communities. For myself, I spend most of the time in the UFC general as well as the general chat, but the other thing I do is I pay close attention to the announcements, and this is where they will let us know about certain things. Like, for example, the AMA. This was one that they held on October the 5th. And so, when I found out about the AMA and the fact that they were taking questions here, they'll also let you know about challenges and pack drops. The other thing you should do is to follow this guy's on Twitter, Panini NFTs. This is an unofficial account. He's just a fan, but he's a Discord moderator, and he keeps the community up to date with same thing like pack drops. Whenever there's challenges, things like that. And so this is the best your Twitter account I follow for whenever I want to know what's been happening. He also stays up to date on when there's updates to the marketplace, when they kind of improve functionality. So you can also follow me, of course, at Business Jeremy. I tweet a lot, but not quite as much as Panini NFTs. If you want to follow a couple other accounts, there's the official Panini America Twitter that you can follow, but that's not just solely NFTs, but that's also their physical spot. And then you can follow Sports Marketing Guy as well. Jason, he's the VP at Marketing at Panini America and handles the NFT side, and so he's also a good follow. The very last thing you should do is go here under the blog, and then on the left hand side you're going to be able to put in your email to subscribe to their blog. So that's helpful because whenever they have a new pack coming up or a new challenge, they post a blog post about it, and so you'll just kind of get an email so that you can be notified as well. So you have the Discord, you can follow those Twitter accounts, you can subscribe here. Make sure you're an active part of the community, kind of build some friends. You can kind of show off the cards you get, or talk about the deals, or a great sale you made with them, so that other people can be in your corner to encourage you along on your collecting and trading journey. Oh, I actually forgot one last thing I have to mention as well. If you go under blockchain and NFT checklist, this is important as well. So for example, if I go under the UFC, I would select the year, the collection, and then the card set. So for example, if I wanted just the global icons, I would go here, and then that would show me all the global icons, the mint count. And so this is helpful for building sets so that you can have it, and then you can also download the full checklist of all of the UFC cards and kind of use as a checklist. Now, just as a hint, if you go on my YouTube page, when I introduce the UFC, the NBA, and basketball, I've made my own checklist for all of these three sports as well. Kind of made it a little bit more, in my opinion, a little bit more tidy, and some extra info as well. Like I add who holds belts, who wins championships, things like that, so that if you're not familiar with all the players, you can have a leg up in knowing who to collect or who might be safer bets. And so you can go, I left the link in the YouTube description of each of those videos. Now before I go, I just want to let you guys know that if you have specific questions about how to collect, or something you want to know about the Panini marketplace, how to do it, any newbie questions, just leave them a comment below. I'll make sure to get to. I'm going to try to answer all of them if I can be of some assistance, and I'm sure other people can offer their thoughts and opinions as well. So anyways, guys, hopefully this was helpful. Would love it if you join us in the Panini NFT collecting experience. And until next time, guys, Peace out.